Good morning. So, I just wanted to do a first impression on my first night in Outdoor Vitals sleeping arrangement with the hammock system. This setup right here, basically. So, I have the one-person hammock, the wide version. It's 11'6". I think 11'6" long. It's not the standard, it's the 1 plus, I believe they called it. And then I have the 30-degree mummy bag system for sleeping in a tent or in the hammock. So far, the sleeping bag itself is a really nice sleeping bag. It's ultra lightweight. It's really made well. But what I've found is that the 30-degree bag just isn't cutting it for me. It was definitely above 30 last night, so it was not a matter of being below 30 degrees or below freezing. But I find that it's not keeping me warm enough. And I have a sleeping bag liner that I put in. It gives me 15 degrees extra, which definitely helps. But still, I think most of the nights I've been out, I've used this bag to its maximum potential. I've had to put, you can see what I'm wearing. So I've got long johns on, or fleece pants, and a hoodie, and a long sleeve shirt, and a hat. And it was in the 40s. So if I was to do it again, I would buy the 0-degree bag. Better to have too much insulation than not enough, for sure. Then you could at least just unzip. I haven't been like super cold that I've had to put layers on in order to get through the evening comfortably. So just for that, I would get the 0-degree bag. And the other thing, I'm 5'10", so I figured this 6-foot bag would be fine. And it would be, I think, in normal circumstances, but being in it as many days in a row that I am, and for as long as I'm going to be in it, I would definitely go with the long bag and the wide version. I think I have the wide, but it's just the 6-foot version, so I would go with the longer extended version, and I think that would be a lot better, especially with the hammock setup. So what I found last night is there's a baffle at the end by my feet, and the hood part goes up by your head. But with the hammock setup, when I stretched my feet all the way out, I ended up pushing the baffle out, which caused a draft point to come in, and I didn't have socks on, so if I would have had socks on, it probably would have been okay. So just a thought, I would probably get the longer bag. Yeah, but otherwise the hammock setup itself is super comfortable. I definitely like it, and it's my first night ever spent in a hammock. And I have back issues sometimes, so it worked. Sorry about that. It worked really well. I was comfortable. It was stable. It wraps right up around you. So it's a good system, and I definitely like it. I think they've got a really good product here. I highly recommend checking their stuff out if you're at all into hammock stuff. This stuff is super lightweight and really well built. So I'm happy with it, and I'm not plugging these guys for any reason other than that I have the gear and I'm trying it out and want you guys to know what I think of it. And their price points are really good. They're ultra light, and they make them themselves. It's not a big manufacturing company that cranking these things out in China somewhere. So they're made high quality and by people that care about the gear. So with that idea in mind, it's a solid setup. So if you're looking for something lightweight, it's warm out, and you want to just throw a hammock and a tarp in your bag with you to take out on a day trip, or a quick overnight, or a couple nights, or even canoeing or kayaking or on a bicycle or whatever, this is a good setup for sure. Highly recommend it. Comes with the straps to attach to the tarp and the hammock. They're just webbing kind of straps, so you can just wrap them around the tree. And then there's a carabiner system built into the hammock, so you just feed it right through the strap and you're good to go. It's a good deal. I like it. You know, like I said, the only thing I would change on this whole system would be a longer bag and a warmer bag. So yeah, I just double wrapped on this one to tighten it up a little bit. I got my Luci light right here, which if you guys don't have one of these things, it is the coolest, hands down the coolest friggin' camp light I've ever used. It casts out so much light, it's insane. I use it on low. I had it hung from the tree last night, and it was probably 8 feet off the ground, and I bet it cast a 20-foot diameter ring of light. It illuminated the whole camp area here really well, and that was on low setting. There's four settings, 3 levels of light intensity, and then 1 flashing. It's solar powered, no batteries, charges really quick. I actually haven't run it out of juice yet, so the Luci light is the way to go. I think they're like $10 or $12. They're super cheap and really cool. They make a Luci 2.0 that you can plug your phone in and charge off of that little tiny solar panel, which is pretty sweet also. In hindsight, I would have got that one, and I thought I actually did order that one, but turns out I ordered Luci 1. But Luci's my friend. It's a really good light. Yeah, so that was just kind of a quick first impression, first night in the hammock, and first night using the Outdoor Vitals hammock system. And I've been using the bag all along, so I have 3 weeks in the sleeping bag, and temperatures all the way down to as low as 23, I think, or 25 degrees. So I had all my gear on inside the sleeping bag with the sleeping bag liner. All my gear meaning long johns with my fleece pants, mid-weight long john layer, a t-shirt, and a long sleeve fleece, and my winter hat. With a 15 degree sleeping bag liner and the bag in my tent, I managed to stay pretty warm, but it wasn't ideal. So the 0 degree bag would be my recommendation if you're going to camp anywhere remotely close to freezing, or even down into the upper 30s or low 40s. I would go with the heavier weight bag. It's really not that much bigger or heavier, so looking back at my gear organization from the start, I think I probably shaved weight in the wrong spot as far as that goes. And I know that this first month is going to be the coldest month on my entire trip, so you know, I wanted to. Sorry, that was a battery warning on my screen. You know, I know that 0 degree bag down the road, it would be way too warm probably. I don't know, if they had a 20 degree bag or a 15 degree bag somewhere in the mid-range between the 0 and 30, I absolutely would have got that without question. But because it was a 0 or a 30, there was a big swing there. I was getting real particular with the amount of weight I had and the size of the stuff I had. I was really filling the bike up pretty quick, so I thought that would be a smart move to go with a 30, and I thought that it would be sufficient. And it has been. I'm not complaining. I just would have done it a little bit different, that's all. So if I could trade with them and send this one back and get the other one, I probably would do that. But I'm not gonna even pursue that. You know, it's good quality gear, no doubt about it, and it's really well constructed, and I highly recommend it. And the price is good. So if you're looking for good stuff that's, you know, that the manufacturer is very conscious of where it's being used, these guys are it. So check out outdoorvitals.com for sure. Good investment. And then get your Luci light from REI. Become an REI co-op member, and it pays back, gives you rewards. And REI carries all sorts of good stuff. They have similar hammock setups to this, maybe not quite as lightweight, and made by a bigger manufacturer. So yeah, take that for what it is. Not saying their gear is bad. REI stands by their stuff hands down, no questions. So I know they have a similar system, but the thing I like about this setup is the sleeping bag also works in the tent, where a lot of the top quilts and bottom quilts for hammocks don't work in your tent. So this is a mummy bag that zips up the middle and the top, that you can, has a baffle in the feet, so you can feed the hammock right straight through the sleeping bag, and then crawl in there all snug as a bug, and all super cozy. So it's a cool system, and I think there's several of you out there that are watching me that really like hammocks. So this is one I would recommend checking out. I want to say that the hammock is maybe 60 bucks, so it's not that expensive. I think the tarp was maybe 60 bucks. My bag was over 100. I want to say it was under 2 though. My whole entire setup with a bug screen that I have not set up yet, but the bug net incorporates, you string a line across the trees, and then your tarp goes over, bug net's underneath, and the bug net completely encompasses the whole system and hangs well below the sleeping bag, so that you won't be getting any skeeters poking through your sleeping bag and getting you from the behind, you know what I mean? And I know that is going to be an issue when I get up north in this middle of the summer, going across Canada, and in Alaska, and in Wisconsin, and Maine, and all those places with lots of water and lots of mosquitoes. So I'll talk more about that when time comes that I need a bug net. But that was just a quick shout out to Outdoor Vitals for making a quality product. Not having experience in it and just doing research, I think I did pretty well with my purchase. But now that I've had it and have used it a little bit, just a couple things I would consider in the future, or something that maybe you guys would consider if you're buying something like this. So yeah, it was a good night. It was comfortable. I slept well. It's quiet. Beautiful area here. And this, by the way, is the Prescott National Forest. I couldn't remember when the video I was putting together yesterday, but it's the Prescott Forest. I'm near the Powerline Tank, it's called. Yeah, I'm at the top of this pass, just south of Jerome, and in a beautiful forest, having a nice little morning fire. Yeah, so that's a little shout out to Outdoor Vitals, a little update on some gear, and get yourself an Outdoor Vitals hammock, because they are pretty sweet and they are comfortable. Yeah, so onward, pack up and head south towards Phoenix, where I know that I'm not going to need my sleeping bag because it's going to be 100 degrees, so I'll probably be in the hammock with just the sleeping bag liner, which is one other reason why I bought that, so that when it gets hot out, all I have is, I just have that sleeping bag liner to keep me just a little bit warm or whatever. So that'll be really nice when the nights don't get below 75 or 80, so which I have a feeling will be soon. Yeah, that's about it. Later.